Hello, everybody. So I decided to do a Sims 4 speedrun. Um, I have been wanting to make a restaurant in this world for a little bit because I started a new kind of like Sims story that I was working on. And the thing is with Sims 4 restaurants is that none of them are actually placed in the worlds beforehand. You have to make them or do it, or you have to place them or you have to do it yourself. So I didn't really have an idea for this one other than I was kind of imagining GCB from Golden, kind of where they have an inside section, they have an outside section. And I kind of wanted this to just be very colorful, very fun. It's really easy to just make everything black and white, so I didn't want to do that by any means. So you can see me starting to make that outdoor section. I'm realizing I was like, okay, well, I want the cool trim, which I just got with the I believe that's the magic. What is it called? The source uh, Magic the Gathering pack? I don't know. You get to play with magic, and it's really fun. And I'm using the Stranger Things fences and posts because that green, it entices me so much. So I was like, that's what I gotta do. And of course, whenever I make these sorts of things, I always want an excuse to use one of the glass roofs as well. Um, and you can see I'm trying like other things. I'm like, but no, no. The truth is, I really just want the glass roof. Um, so this, I posted about it in the Discord a little bit, but it started, I wanted to make a sim. I don't really know what I was thinking. I was like, I want to do something different. And I realized I really hadn't done the comedy career like ever, and I wanted to be really successful with it. And so I had her just starting out, but then she met this guy, and I got this notification. She's like, "Oh, I'm super attracted to him," and he was old. He was so old, and I was like, "No way, are you serious, girl?" But then, um, I got this other. I don't know. She just was like, "I want to go on a date with him." And I was like, "Okay, girl, whatever you want, I guess." And so I set them on a date. It was kind of rocky at first, but I was like, okay, maybe one more. And it was really fun for them. And things just kind of happened that way. And I think she realized that if she marries him, she'll have this like stability and she can go to college and actually get a degree in drama and then be able to get into comedy at a much higher level, really like a lot faster, which is how it mechanically works in the game. Um, that's what she ended up doing. She gets married to him. I should have picked a better venue, but I just did not care. I was just like, get married. Um, and they got married, and she moved in with them, and he, she moved in with him, and that's when I realized it was not just him. There were multiple people, and I kind of freaked out for a second. I was like, oh my God, is he married? Does he have kids? And apparently he must have had a past marriage, but she's passed away now. But he had two kids. One of them was still living with him, and she was married. And they had two kids. One of them was a teenager, and one of them was a little baby. Her name was Larissa. She was very cute. But I was I was very surprised because I was not intending to play that many Sims that quickly. If you've played The Sims, you would know like not controlling all those people's lives is very difficult, especially when there's a infant that's just so time consuming. And I also was not ready for the drama that this household was already experiencing. Um, I pulled up and wow, those two married people, well, they were near divorce. They had like none of their romance bar left. They had none of their friendship bar. They were arguing. And believe me, I tried to fix them. I sent them to therapy and everything, but they could not get over themselves. And so eventually I was like, y'all need to get divorced and I'm moving out of here. So me and my sim and her new husband, who's super old, left. And now she's on her second to last semester of college before she'll get her degree. Semesters only last like a week. But you also have to like stop auto aging when you do university in The Sims, or else you will literally become a senior citizen before you graduate college. It is literally, it takes way too long. Anywho, they're pretty happy right now. And yeah, she's finishing college. He's like gardening. He's a really good cook. He's been teaching her how to like cook and stuff. And I'm like, they need more places to go on dates because I believe in love and I think they should be able to do whatever they want. Anywho, so that's why I'm making this restaurant. let's see what's going on right now. So right now I'm making the inside. I know it's very dark. That will not get fixed for a long time. But right now I'm just kind of making the inside layout, filling it out. It's kind of difficult sometimes because you got to fit that huge kitchen in there. But I was like, whatever. I'll just put it in the corner. People are more coming to this restaurant because they want to sit outside anyways. And let's see here. Yeah, I made it a little smaller. It's still super dark. That will again not change till later. Yeah, the bathroom in there. I was having a hard time finding that one circular door that you see like in restaurants and stuff. That's like the one door that comes with the restaurant pack, I think. So I use it in restaurants. And I'm making that little spot. You know when you enter a restaurant and they have like a funky little waiter thing going on? I was like, I'm gonna do that. Um, and then yeah, in the upper left corner you can see that there's like requirements for builds. When you have a build that like has a specific purpose, like it's a gym, it's a library, it's a museum, it's a restaurant, it has certain requirements you need to fill for the lot to be functionable, like having a bathroom or being like having food or having places to sit. Or else the restaurant really wouldn't be able to function without that. And so I was just making sure I got all that, make sure I had all the kitchen stuff set up and all that. I was having some fun here, kind of making the kitchen all kitcheny. Because I was watching The Bear on Hulu earlier, the one about like, God, what's his name? I don't know. But there's a restaurant and it's failing and they're trying to fix it. And I was like, yo, maybe I should be a cook. Career change right now, more likely than you think. Um, I was also making the bathroom here. I wasn't being too picky with it. I was like, it's a bathroom. As long as there's not crap on the ground, it's fine. Um, like bathrooms are sometimes really fun to make when it's like an old grandma's house or something. But the rest, it's fine. Yeah, here's me finding this table. And I was like, this is so silly. And I was like, okay, let's pick the yellow one. That's a color I haven't really used yet. And sometimes when you make Sims builds, you just start throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. So I was like, okay, let me just put a bunch of tables down. I need somewhere to sit, see where those might work out. I'm like trying to figure out where those chairs are gonna go. And I'm gonna quickly realize once I start putting those chairs down, which it takes me a long time to find one that I liked, because I wanted it to match the funkiness of the table, but not be too overwhelming. But I end up picking probably the most overwhelming color choice anyways. Um, but anyways, you'll see once I put the chairs down that it looks crazy uncomfortable and overwhelming. It's wild. Um, yeah, I'm going through all those different choices. I'm like, I guess I'll just go with the red one. I'm like, okay, like the families are sitting back here, the families of six, the gramps came, put them all there, and look how crazy this looks. Oh my God. And so I ended up deleting a table. I was like, this is too wild. Got rid of him, moved things around, made sure it worked. Um, people are sitting on the porch. There's a beautiful view of like the ocean or something. This world is called San Sequoia, so it's supposed to be like San Francisco. It's a family-based world. You're supposed to like grow up here and do things and enjoy the beautiful ocean breeze. Um, and yeah, and here's something interesting you're gonna see. Um, it's not interesting. It's me just putting a bunch of stuff that I liked on the wall and seeing whatever I wanted to keep, and then me freaking out because of all the flags and stuff I was finding in there. Um, but yeah, let's just kind of things at the wall, seeing what sticks. There's so many items in The Sims 4, it's hard to remember what they all are. And sometimes you'll have like a vague memory of an item and be like, I think something exists, maybe. And you look for it for 10 years because there's 1 million items. And especially, I had unlocked cheats before I did this, so there was hidden objects as well. And hidden objects are just things the dev team uses to like decorate the backgrounds. It's usually not something that the Sims players have access to, but due to the fact the Sims is supposed to be used however you want, we do have access to the cheat that can give us all those hidden objects. And I had unlocked it because I was looking for something, and I couldn't find it. So it was all for nothing. So there's just a lot of trash sometimes um, in my kind of item view there. So you might be able to pick up on that. Here's me freaking out because I was trying to change the color of this, but I accidentally kept misclicking and grabbing the eyedropper instead. I thought I was losing my mind. I was like, why can't I click on the right thing? Um, Clearly having a lot of um, kind of brain fart moments lately. That's probably due to something. Probably because I keep falling asleep at like 2 a.m. Because I don't know. I've been watching TikToks. I've been getting like estate sale TikToks about like, hey, I found this grandparents' like old diamond collection and Playboys, and this person has a basement full of unicorns. And I'm like, yo, no way. Uh, okay. Anyways, back on track. In the video, I was trying to find a light out here. I was like, yeah, but what if it's like nighttime? Eventually I give up, I'm pretty sure. I could not. I didn't like anything. I was like, well, if it gets dark, it's just dark, I guess. You gotta sit out there. Um, in retrospect, I think there is probably an alternative option, but earlier, a few seconds ago, I showed like I put those little salt lamp things on the tables, mainly because I just thought they were cute. I love a good centerpiece. Restaurants don't do centerpieces like they used to, or maybe not like they used to, but they just haven't really done that at all. Um, so I tried it, but that's kind of all I end up doing out there. Um, I end up moving. Am I moving inside now? Yes. I decided to use that table I used on the outside, also in the inside. Again, I'm just gonna end up throwing things around. I was trying to just visualize in my mind where I wanted things to go, and it won't really lock in until a few minutes from now. But I really ended up liking what I do with the bigger tables here in a second. I was like, wait, big round table for big family? Because of course the big families are coming to my restaurant. This is San Sequoia. Like people are bringing their kids here. Um, and I really liked it. I don't know, it's just these huge big tables that people are, enjoying their time. And I ended up, of course, taking like 10 years to find a chair, but I was like, whatever, populate that stuff with the green chair. And I liked it. It was really cute. Um, let's see what I end up doing next. I think this is where I lock in. I'm like, okay, get some new chairs for these tables. I end up using like what is it, three different types of chairs in this build, and that's okay. I was going for a more eclectic feel anyway, so that can be always a really good opportunity to use different chairs and make it look like not very cohesive, and that can be great. Like it's more cohesive to the vibe than it is like the decor. And now we'll get lighting. Thank God, right? I could hear when I was doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, Quinn's gonna kill me that I didn't put lights in here. And I'm like, Quinn's gonna watch this and be like, oh my gosh, Addie, where's your lighting? And so I was like, crap, I need to put the lights in right now, or else I'm gonna get dislikes, I'm gonna get hate comments, and um, but yeah, now there's lighting. It's not going to be the greatest lighting until a little bit from now, but I think I really lock in. I was like, okay, I want it to be like really homey feeling, like really enjoyable. So I was like, okay, add some more windows. But then eventually I'll go in with like this centerpiece lighting as well as some extra wall lighting because I got that magic pack. Again, I'm blanking on what the name is, but there's these bug lights and I loved it. This flooring is also one of the new funky floorings I got with that pack. I love funky stuff. I love how weird it is. With the sim that I'm playing with right now, I'm trying to make our house a little funky, and I think she hates me for it. I think she's like, Addie, I want a basic house. I want a white kitchen. And I'm like, girl, I'm sorry. We're not doing that. So I added those walls in. I really like that wallpaper. And yeah, just think it's really pretty. It doesn't work for like most builds. But I thought it worked for this one, so okay, that's not the centerpiece I end up using. Oh, there we go. I like that one. It's nice and small, it's cute, it just lights up the table so you can actually see your food. You know when you're at like Cheesecake Factory and the lighting's all dim and you can't even see what you're eating? You're like, I think this is cheesecake, but it might be orange chicken. I could not tell you. Oh yeah, there's the bug lights. That's cool. Um, let's see here. I end up in this corner. I'm like, nothing's gonna fit back there. I'll just put like random. I was like, okay, get them a picture to look at. Eventually, I'll add in like some entertainment systems, but we'll see that. So back to my sim. I can't remember her name. I think it's Anika or something. Annika? I think it's Annika. Um, yeah, she's married to Ignacio. He won't die soon. I think he's still got a good like weeks in him, which for Sims is pretty long. I think her plans though, I'd love her to get famous. Like I want her to make a crap ton of money. and be able to have like one or two kids and then like do whatever she wants for the rest of her life, you know? Like I just want to kind of experiment with being famous a little bit more because I try to do it sometimes and I just don't enjoy it. It's really hard to maintain if you're not an actor. Um, so but I was like, okay, let's try something different. Let's challenge ourselves. Um, yeah, let's see what happens. So that's kind of my goal for her. Yeah, one or two kids. Because I kind of have the problem where in The Sims when I get bored, I'm just like, have more kids. And then I end up with like eight, nine children, and I'm like, wow, this is horrible. Because it's hard to take care of them. You end up not caring about most of them, which that's kind of like real life. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna challenge myself to keep myself invested in the game without going crazy. And yes, I realized I was like, oh crap, like I didn't put any flooring outside. I'll need to do that. And then eventually that changes everything. You'll see. Yeah. Like, okay, light the kitchen up, light that area up. That's just kind of where the waiters go to pick up food. So it doesn't really have much of a purpose other than just being a hallway. I really end up liking the tile I picked. I don't, I think it must be for the one of the new packs who I don't remember seeing it ever. At first I was like, wait a minute. And then I was like, that's ugly. And so I just decided, I was like, we'll keep the kitchens white and stainless steel. It makes sense for like health code stuff and keeping stuff clean, even though that stuff doesn't matter in The Sims 4. Um, Actually, in the new pack that I got for rent, which is where you can be a landlord, which doesn't make me feel great, but they introduced a mold. So you can like get a mold infestation or like growth in your house. So you have to like clean that shit up or you might get sick. Um, you can even die from mold, mold poisoning. It's pretty hard to do from what I understand. And usually your landlord, you can like call him and be like, yo, fix my mold problem. And most of the time he's like, okay, I guess, and does an okay job. But yeah, it's kind of fun to play with because you can like make a residence on your property and rent it out, or like you can live in a rented property, and it's just kind of fun to like be able to make townhouses or make apartments. Honestly, and maybe another video I might make a townhouse kind of a complex apartment thing just for fun to try it out, to try out like doing it. I also might do some more small business stuff, which is where you can make a part of your property a small business that like customers can visit and you can sell stuff that you make or that you do. Like you can be a tattoo studio, you can teach lessons, you can be a pottery studio, all that sort of thing. See the green here in this video? Didn't that change everything? Aren't you like, wow, Addie, that was such a good choice. It looks so lively now. I kind of hesitated on the green thing. So I was like, is there too much green? And then I realized, no, there can never be enough green. Green is a great color. Now I'm trying to mess around with landscaping here because I was almost towards the end here and I was like, okay, let's put some palm trees in. We're in California, like there's palm trees here. Um, so I just put them everywhere. I was like, put them in the four corners. I was like, put three here, put a little baby one. I thought it was cute. I ended up hesitating a lot about the entrance here because I was like, wow, you just put a slab of bricks down and now you're saying you're done. And honestly, yeah, I am saying I'm done. Like, why do I need to, go up and beyond for what? My 10 viewers? Like, that's crazy. Um, anyways, I decided to do more landscaping with like those flowers because I just thought it looked real pretty. And I was having a struggle because I wanted it to go faster and it just was not going faster. But that's okay. Um, That's the hardest part about landscaping. Sometimes I have to do the landscaping first, or else it'll just never be done. Um, yeah, that's okay though. Um, you'll see. Yeah, I end up putting that fencing back around, so I'll have to go in and delete the flooring there because it always just spawns flooring, and I was all like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm like, go away. Um, and I think, yeah, and I put in like the filler plant there, so it doesn't look totally and utterly dull. Yeah, let me think here. Yeah, I don't know with this Sims game, like how long I'll play it, because I had one before, a legacy challenge I was doing, and I had gotten to like third generation. So my original Sim I started playing with, they had kids, and then they had kids. I was playing on that third generation of kids, and I was like, I just don't care anymore. Actually, I guess there was a fourth generation at that point. I just was like, I don't know what's going on. That was the one that like ran away from her vampire dad, if anyone remembers me talking about that. gonna fill in this corner here. At first I was like TV, watch sports, and then I realized I was like, "Ah, what? Eddie, this restaurant isn't that type. It's not that type of vibe. Like we're not watching football." I was like, no, we're just gonna have cool background music. So I put in these like speakers everywhere. The speakers in The Sims 4 are like kind of ugly. Like I wish they had one that was like flat to the wall, but they don't, and that's fine. I put in that silly little bench, like a waiting area for people. You didn't make a reservation. Now you have to wait 30 to 45. And then I was finishing up here. I was like, okay, let's fix this entrance a little bit. And I decided, I was like, oh shit, we gotta add that trash can on the outside for the trash people. But then I was like, actually, that doesn't do anything in restaurants. It only matters for your house. I put in this little wind chime. I was trying to find something. I was like, this something looks dull. Something's missing. We'll see if I figure it out soon. Let's see. Are we having a revelation? Nope, that is not a revelation. That is something horrible and evil, I think. Um, Eventually I figure it out and I'm like, oh, I could just add more plants. So I was like, okay, let's add some plants to the front. So you have like a front entrance. I was like, should I put some here? And I was like, not these. Like, I think a potted plant would probably go better. And so that's what I end up picking out here. I end up doing a few on the left and a few on the right. I picked some different ones for each side just to kind of just how things look. Um, there's those potted plants. They kind of come as a pair. I wish the Sims 4 also had those as singles, but they don't. But yeah, I finished up here. The video's almost done, so I guess I'll have to stop talking. But yeah, very fun, very cool. I had like some terrain stuff, and thank you guys for watching. I love The Sims so much, except when it makes me crazy. Oh yeah, I've changed the outfits here. You can do that for what the wait staff and cooks look like, and you can also change the menu. I changed it to experimental. Very cool.